One way to gain a simple, though admittedly simplistic, overview is to understand the four essential beliefs shared by the vast majority of Hindus: karma, reincarnation, all-pervasive divinity, and dharma. We could say that living by these four principles is what makes a person a Hindu. Karma literally means deed or act, and more broadly names the universal principle of cause and effect, action and reaction which governs all life. Karma is a natural law of the mind, just as gravity is a law of matter. Karma is not fate, for man acts with free will, creating his own destiny. The Vedas tell us, if we sow goodness, we will reap goodness. If we sow evil, we will reap evil. Karma refers to the totality of our actions and their concomitant reactions in this and previous lives, all of which determines our future. It is the interplay between our experience and how we respond to it that makes karma devastating or helpfully invigorating. The conquest of karma lies in intelligent action and dispassionate reaction. Not all karmas rebound immediately. Some accumulate and return unexpectedly in this or other births. The Vedas explain, according as one acts, so does he become. One becomes virtuous by virtuous action, bad by bad action. Reincarnation, punarjanma, is the natural process of birth, death, and rebirth. At death, we drop off the physical body and continue evolving in the inner worlds in our subtle bodies until we again enter into birth. Through the ages, reincarnation has been the great consoling element within Hinduism, eliminating the fear of death. We are not the body in which we live, but the immortal soul which inhabits many bodies in its evolutionary journey through samsara. After death, we continue to exist in unseen worlds, enjoying or suffering the harvest of earthly deeds until it comes time for yet another physical birth. The actions set in motion in previous lives form the tendencies and conditions of the next. Reincarnation ceases when karma is resolved, God is realized, and moksha, liberation, is attained. The Vedas state, after death, the soul goes to the next world, bearing in mind the subtle impressions of its deeds, and after reaping their harvest, returns again to this world of action. Thus, he who has desires continues subject to rebirth. As a family of faiths, Hinduism upholds a wide array of perspectives on the divine, yet all worship the one all-pervasive Supreme Being hailed in the Upanishads. As absolute reality, God is unmanifest, unchanging, and transcendent, the self-God, timeless, formless, and spaceless. As pure consciousness, God is the manifest primal substance, pure love and light, flowing through all form, existing everywhere in time and space, as infinite intelligence and power. As primal soul, God is our personal Lord, source of all three worlds, our Father, Mother God, who protects, nurtures, and guides us. We beseech God's grace in our life while also knowing that He, she is the essence of our soul, the life of our life. Each denomination also venerates its own pantheon of divinities, Mahadevas or great angels, known as gods, who were created by the Supreme Lord and who serve and adore Him. The Vedas proclaim, He is the God of forms infinite, in whose glory all things are, smaller than the smallest atom, and yet the Creator of all, ever living in the mystery of His creation. In the vision of this God of love there is everlasting peace. He is the Lord of all who, hidden in the heart of all things, watches over the world of time. When God created the universe, He endowed it with order, with the laws to govern creation. Dharma is God's divine law prevailing on every level of existence, from the sustaining cosmic order to religious and moral laws which bind us in harmony with that order. In relation to the soul, Dharma is the mode of conduct most conducive to spiritual advancement, the right and righteous path. It is piety and ethical practice, duty and obligation. When we follow Dharma, we are in conformity with the truth that inheres and instructs the universe, and we naturally abide in closeness to God. Our Dharma is opposition to divine law. Dharma is to the individual what its normal development is to a seed, the orderly fulfillment of an inherent nature and destiny. The Tirukkural reminds us, Dharma yields heaven's honor and earth's wealth. What is there then that is more fruitful for a man? There is nothing more rewarding than Dharma, nor anything more ruinous than its neglect. There are good reasons for Hindus and non-Hindus alike to study and understand the nature of Hinduism. The vast geographical and cultural expanses that separate continents, peoples, and religions are becoming increasingly bridged as our world grows closer together. Revolutions in communications, the internet, business, travel, and global migration are making formerly distant peoples neighbors, sometimes reluctantly. It is crucial, if we are to get along in an increasingly pluralistic world, that Earth's peoples learn about and appreciate the religions, cultures, viewpoints, and concerns of their planetary neighbors. The Sanatana Dharma, with its sublime tolerance and belief in the all-pervasiveness of divinity, has much to contribute in this regard. Nowhere on earth have religions lived and thrived in such close and harmonious proximity as in India. For thousands of years, India has been a home to followers of virtually every major world religion, the exemplar of tolerance toward all paths. It has offered a refuge to Jews, Zoroastrians, Sufis, Buddhists, Christians, and non-believers. Today, over 100 million Indians are Muslim, for the most part magnanimously accepted by their majority Hindu neighbors. Such religious amity has occurred out of an abiding respect for all genuine religious pursuits. The oft-quoted axiom that conveys this attitude is, Ekam Sat Aneka Panta. Truth is one, paths are many. What can be learned from the Hindu land that has given birth to Hinduism, Sikhism, and Jainism, and has been a generous protector of all other religions? India's original faith offers a rare look at a peaceful, rational, and practical path for making sense of our world, for gaining personal spiritual insight, and as a potential blueprint for grounding our society in a more spiritually rewarding worldview. Hinduism boasts teachings and practices reaching back 8,000 years and more, its history dwarfing most other religions. In fact, there is no specific time in history when it began. It is said to have started with time itself. To emphasize the relative ages of the major religions and the antiquity of Hinduism, Raimon Panikar, author of the Vedic Experience, cleverly reduced them to proportionate human years, with each 100 years of history representing 1 year of human life. Viewed this way, Sikhism, the youngest faith, is 5 years old. Islam, the only teenager, is 14. Christianity just turned 20. Buddhism, Taoism, Jainism, and Confucianism are 25. Zoroastrianism is 26. Shintoism is in its late 20s. Judaism is a mature 37. Hinduism, whose birthday remains unknown, is at least 80 years old, the white-bearded grandfather of living spirituality on this planet. The followers of this extraordinary tradition often refer to it as Sanatana Dharma, the eternal faith or eternal way of conduct. Rejoicing in adding on to itself the contributions of every one of its millions of adherents down through the ages, it brings to the world an extraordinarily rich cultural heritage that embraces religion, society, economy, literature, art, and architecture. Unsurprisingly, it is seen by its followers as not merely another religious tradition, but as a way of life and the quintessential foundation of human culture and spirituality. It is, to Hindus, the most accurate possible description of the way things are. Eternal truths, natural principles, inherent in the universe that form the basis of culture and prosperity. Understanding this venerable religion allows all people to fathom the source and essence of human religiosity, to marvel at the oldest example of the eternal path that is reflected in all faiths. While 860 million Hindus live in India, forming 85% of the population, tens of millions reside across the globe and include followers from nearly every nationality, race, and ethnic group in the world. The U.S. alone is home to 2.4 million Hindus, roughly two-thirds of South Asian descent and one-third of other backgrounds.